Kick things off on a glorious Friday morning. Good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome to the best breakfast show in all of the land. The weekend is finally here, but for some of you, to be honest, this week hasn't been giddy like that, right? It's been a holiday vibe, Monday, Tuesday. Well, for some, especially, what is the one? Oye Kuntai, you know? Oye Kuntai. Which one is that one?
Driving.
King Paluta's. Oh, during the campaign, they used it a lot. Oye Kuntai. Sisifia, in fact, it's in the song.
Maybe I think you could easily get the song of the year.
You didn't see Chama to me dancing to Oye Kuntai.
Right, that was the main thing.
No, but that part, when it comes and you raise your shoulder like this, Michael, let me see you. If you're not watching us on Facebook, you are missing the dance tutorial. So you have to raise your shoulder. Oye Kuntai. Michael, let me see you.
You're making this look like an aerobics class.
The song is what? Makoma.
Makoma.
No, the Sisifia is inside the song.
But it's not the title of the song.
That's not the title of the song. I'll try and get that up so that we can all do the Sisifia stroke. Why you kuntain? Was raising the shot. Why you kuntain? During the elections, the campaigns were very, 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 very sweet. I've forgotten what part of the country.
Maybe we should play some of the campaign songs. You know, Nasi's.
Sekr.
I think at this point, Nasi is like a campaign song of the millennium of the decade.
He just knows how. He just knows how to make the hits. He just knows how to make the hits. But if you're ready for that tutorial, get your shoulders ready.
Let's see how it goes.
King Paluta Makoma. He is nominated for Artist of the Year 2025 TGMA. Is it his year? We don't know. You raise your shoulder. That's how you do it. Give it to us, Mike. Interesting indeed. But a strong case is being made for us to also play another song that dominated. In fact, took center stage during the elections. If you haven't seen the video, make sure you check it out on YouTube. It's not easy. I don't know the dance for that one, but you can nod your head if you're feeling the vibe. I don't know what category, if this was placed in the TGMA, categories, like, I don't know what category it would fall under if it was the kind of song that was filed.
Definitely most popular.
Okay.
I think this song is probably one of the most abused by DJs.
Are DJs still playing this song?
Try it and see. It just has a way of lighting up the whole mood.
Even what if you're on the other side of the coin? Will you still dance?
I just remember this.
Weddings, funerals,
one of the NPP communicators who, after the loss of the election, was like, the way he was damning this song.
Yes, I think I recall that. He says, everywhere you go, he's a pro. He was... It happens. Let's get into the news review. We do have a couple of newspapers in front of us.
Before you get into the news review, Amos Appiah says, yesterday someone wanted to teach Madam Helen the French language. I want to teach her Hausa so that she can maneuver her way in the Zongos. Someone is looking out for you.
I love that. Is Hausa a difficult language to learn? I'm not too sure.
I'm not too sure, but I've heard also that like the typical Hausa spoken by in Ghana isn't actually premium quality. So I'm hearing that the ones spoken by like the Nigerian Hausas is like very, very typical.
I see.
So I don't know how that feeds into the span of things.
Okay.
So apparently the Hausa in Ghana is diluted.
I see. I'm still open to learning diluted Hausa. I have
better
no
than
qualms.
No Hausa, you know.
Better than also open to learning German, Mandarin, and others. So those who are offering, please keep them coming.
Beyond English, I think Hausa is like the next most spoken language on the continent, actually.
On this continent,
yeah,
I gather so. I see.
So I
can believe that
with Hausa.
And also make sure you're checking out 3news.com threenews.com. We've got the latest in politics, news, sports, business, and entertainment. There are a number of big stories also on threenews.com. Make sure you're checking that out. I'll kick off actually with threenews.com because we were talking about this story yesterday during the review. Aircraft with drugs in Team Fojo chickens out on invitation by security agencies. Kwache Ofosu. He's pictured here also in that story. Now, the Minister of State in charge of government communications, Felix Kwache Ofosu, has described claims by ranking member of the Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament, Reverend John Intimfojo, to the effect that suspicious aircrafts carrying drugs landed at the Kotoka International Airport as false. Now, Mr. Ofosu said this in an explainer posted on his X page on April 3, just yesterday. And we can actually give you that sound bite. If you're on Facebook, you can also watch it so you can follow along with that. Now, he said upon President John Mahama's directive that the security agencies should engage Reverend Fojo for more information. The latter has varied his assertion. But don't take it from me. Let's listen to it from the horse's own mouth.
Disinformation machine of the new Patriotic Party has been ratcheted up, and they've taken it a notch higher. This time, Reverend Intim Fojo, who also doubles as the Member of Parliament for the good people of Asin South, has made very wild claims to the effect that 2 aircrafts which passed through Ghana for various reasons were carrying drugs, and that was the reason why they were here. He also alleged that they were involved in money laundering, and therefore he was calling for investigations. As you may be aware, President Mahama gave him the opportunity to present any evidence or any basis he has for making that claim to the security services, so that together we could look into the matter to ascertain whether there was any truth in it. I can report to you that because he knew he was peddling total falsehoods and lies, he now claims, after being invited to assist with investigations, that he was speaking on behalf of the committee that he was part of, and that the views he expressed were not his personal views. So because of that, he says he's unable to cooperate with the security agencies. I say that he was peddling falsehood because the facts as they exist vary completely from the claims that he made. When he made that claim, he was only seeking to peddle falsehood in a bid to undermine the confidence that the people of Ghana have in this government. The truth is that 2 aircrafts with completely different purposes arrived in Ghana, and their arrival was perfectly legitimate, and they were here for very genuine reasons. The first one is an Antonov flight 12BK with registration number CVK 7037. Now, this flight essentially is a cargo plane which arrived on the 12th of March 2025. Now, no plane arrives in Ghana without a landing permit. So this plane secured a landing permit with number GAF/TMAO/25/7863. Now, the purpose for arriving in Ghana was what we call a technical stop. Essentially, this is a cargo flight that was destined for the European Union market. And European Union regulations dictate that some specific regulatory requirements be met before any plane of that sort can enter the EU. Now, this plane originated from Luanda in Angola. It was loaded with oil drill equipment and lubricant oil, which were contained in jerrycans. It was headed for the EU market. Now, Luanda does not have the certification to carry out the sort of requirements that this plane had to meet before entering the EU market. Now, the specific requirement is a scanning and screening RA3 procedure, which is a requirement to enter the European Union. Rwanda doesn't have it. The Swiss cargo facility at the Kotoka International Airport has that certification, and they can do that kind of scanning. Whilst here, it developed an engine blade fault. Its engine blade was damaged, and then it was also detected that there was severe oil leakage, which required immediate attention. For that reason, a replacement aircraft, URCEZ, with registration number CBK 7007, was brought in to evacuate the cargo. The aircraft that was damaged remained here for 13 days. That is between 12 March and 25th March 2025. After it had been inspected by aviation security, officials of the Narcotic Control Commission, officials of National Security and National Intelligence Bureau, no contraband or unlawful commodities were found on the aircraft. Now, the second aircraft in question is a Hawker 800 XP with registration number N823AM. Now, this aircraft is operated by an organization called AirMed International, which is based in Birmingham, Alabama, in the United States of America. It operates as an air ambulance. Now, Air Medical International flights in Ghana are handled by Tropicana Airlines. Now, this plane landed in Ghana on 20th March from Gran Canaria, Las Palmas, Spain, having gone through Luanda in Angola. Now, it was also here for a technical stop, which is refueling and crew rest, which is perfectly legitimate activity. It was cleared to land in Ghana with clearance number GAF TWXR 252604 OFAA 0297/25. Now, whilst it was landing in Ghana, it developed a tire burst and some difficulty with its landing gear, and therefore needed to remain here to be serviced. So another aircraft with registration number N864 arrived on 22nd March with tires and flight engineers from Luanda to replace the damaged tires of the aircraft. Now, once this was fixed, it departed the Kotoka International Airport on 25th March. The aircraft was once again inspected by officials of aviation security, officials of national security, officials of the National Intelligence Bureau, and NACOC, who made sure that it did not contain any unlawful substances, as alleged by Reverend Intim Fojo. So, in a nutshell, the claims of Intim Fojo are false. He cannot prove it. That is why he is running away from the investigative bodies. He is unable to provide any shred of evidence to back his claim. I urge you to be wary of a desperate MPP that believes that the best way to claw his way out of the humiliating defeat they suffered in December 2024 is to peddle these falsehoods under the guise of performing legislative oversight. Whilst we welcome legislative oversight and scrutiny and criticism of any sort aimed at ensuring that we improve upon governance, it is important to condemn this level of political obscurantism, which is deliberately targeted at misinforming people and misleading the public and bringing government's name into disrepute for no reason. Reverend Intim Fojo has failed to honor the invitations extended to him by national security because he does not have a shred of evidence, and he will never be able to provide any evidence to back his claim because none of the things that he said were true. In the last few days.
All right, so you heard there the voice of the Minister of State in charge of Government Communications, Felix Kwakye Ofosu, addressing these claims made by Reverend John Intim Fojo. Well, the tango has not ended. There's a response, or shall I say a rebuttal, from Reverend John Intim Fojo. And it is as follows. It's also on our Facebook, so you can follow along with the conversation. Michael, it's fairly lengthy, but permit me, I'll read it out so we can also see his line of reasoning. He says, my attention has been drawn to a rather disingenuous and far-fetched response from government by Kwakye Ofosu, and he attaches his username. Now, Kwakye Ofosu lied when he claimed I've been invited by security agencies and failed to attend upon their invitation. No security or intelligence agency has ever invited me to assist them with any information. I dare Kwakye Ofosu to produce a copy of such invitation. I'm waiting on them to collaborate with me in Parliament to undertake President Mahama's directive, if the directive was not mere rhetorics. He goes on to say, beg your pardon. When I wrote to call for joint security briefing, which would have afforded the security and intelligence agencies the opportunity to collaborate with me and to share further information with them and receive their updates on investigations conducted into the specific cases, NDC Parliamentary Caucus and the government blocked the briefing and shielded the security and intelligence agencies from accountability and denied them the opportunity to collaborate with me. What are they hiding? Whereas Kwachu Ofosu confirmed my claims of the entry and departure of 2 suspicious flights as true, the reasons provided by Kwachu Ofosu in respect of their purpose of entry are incoherent, questionable, and cannot be taken seriously. The government has since failed to provide responses to the status of the 12 containers filled with gold and currencies confiscated by National Security on February 9. Now, the government has also failed to provide responses on the status of investigations made into high-profile cocaine busts totaling some $500 million US. In view of the above and the disingenuous response from government spokesperson, he says they are bent on hiding information and evading accountability. Our country cannot be allowed to be suddenly turned into a hub for cocaine and money laundering. He ends by saying they must come again. Those are the words of John Ntim Fojo in response to Felix Kwache Ofosu. It's become a bit of a tango, and I'm trying to really make heads or tails of this situation. I recall a couple of days ago when this claim was made, the President Mahama, asked, or he made it public on his X page and I think on Facebook as well, that he would be asking security agencies to liaise with Ntim Fojo for further and better particulars. Now, subsequently, from what I gather and what I heard Reverend Ntim Fojo say was that he had then called for a meeting in Parliament. So I don't know what this push and pull is really about. But it is in all of our best interest to if something untoward is happening and it has been uncovered, it's in all our best interest to weed that out. But I'm not too sure where we go from here.
For me, I find the whole thing it's a bit too messy.
Right.
For me, you made a claim, and we are happy that at least our MPs are making that effort to look out for our interests as a country. For me, I'm thinking that beyond the press conferences and the talking about it and the expo, what other steps were taken to ensure that whatever evidence you have leads to some bust or leads to a headway with your claims. I don't see much of that in there. Then also, we heard the president say that he had instructed the heads of the security service also.
That's right, and it's on our page if you want to follow along with that.
Basically, the president in his post stated that his attention had been drawn to allegations made at a press conference by an honorable member of parliament, Reverend John Ntim Fojo, regarding 2 suspicious flights arriving at the Kotoka International Airport suspected to be involved in drug trafficking and money laundering. I believe the president went further to actually state that he had instructed my attention has been drawn to allegations made at a press conference by, so he basically he said that security operatives have been directed to meet with the MP and also ensure that, he helps them with the intel that he has.
Yes.
So the question now is, we've heard the minister also. So government takes all allegations seriously, and to ensure a thorough and transparent investigation, I have directed all relevant investigative agencies, including the Narcotics Control Commission, NACOC, the Police CID, and the National Investigations Bureau, NIB, and the National Security Coordinator to immediately and fully cooperate with the Honorable Member of Parliament, so he provides all necessary information to investigate the allegations and take all action necessary to expose any drug dealings. So at least we've seen the presidency issue a statement on it. We will maintain zero tolerance for using Ghana as a transit or final destination for drugs and drug trafficking. The NIB made a high-level profile bust of drugs last week with a street value of 350 million. So that's the president speaking. So the president has made a statement. He has instructed people to reach out to the member of parliament and assist in investigations. The question now is, have these heads actually reached out? Because we heard the MP in his statement yesterday state that no security agency has reached out to him.
That's right.
So if the security agencies have been instructed by the presidency and they haven't done that, why haven't they done it? And what measures have been put in place to make up for it? And you see, this is quite, if in really what the minister says, the MP says is the case, then this is quite problematic for the institutions that have been instructed by the presidency, and you haven't done it. You have to explain to us why you haven't carried out a directive by the presidency. Number two, if you have, and yet the MP is claiming you haven't, please provide evidence so that we know that you are justified. Then the next point is the MP. For me, the MP in this case, if you also have information that is relevant to this country's security, why are you waiting to be called upon before you submit the evidence that you have to help with the issues? For me, those are the nitty-gritties that I think must be addressed.
Sixtus Don Ullo, happy Friday to you. Should Reverend Intim Fojo put the evidence out? He has made these claims that categorically, well, he says this is, did you say alleged? Let me go back to his original post. Some editing has happened, so I don't know what the original one did say. Actually, X shows you both. So bear with me, I can scroll down on his page. But
the edited and the original?
Yes. So when you edit your post, X comes back and tells you that there is an earlier version, and it puts it below that post so that you can see, which is, I guess, only fair.
No, there's a reason I edited it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And he says that these planes were used to transport drugs. If he has that evidence, should he just go and freely give it up? What is this tango that we're seeing? If he has that concrete evidence that shows or confirms that drugs were used or were in these planes, should he not just take that to the relevant agencies? Or, like we used to see, for example, Samuel Okuja to Ablakwa put there, he will put the document, he used to stamp it SOA, Samuel Okuja to, was it oversight? Something. So he used to have his own logo with the eagle on it, and you stamp it on it, intercepted. So if he has any pictures, he can also, I think he can also coin something. What's the initials? John in team for JN.
You left the Reverend.
Okay, R. He can start with R J N F. Then he can. I don't know what symbol he use. Then you stamp it on it. Then we see yeah.
For me, I'm like, if you have evidence of that nature, why do a press conference when you can actually submit it to the police service and make some headway and then come and tell us that you dropped the scoop? Then we can praise you. But this one
because Rev is no stranger to shall I say graphics. When this container story broke out, if you follow him on the socials, and it's still up on his page, he has a container that has NDC on it with wings to say that
AI generated
that it has flown away. And for me, the optics of that sadly are problematic, because when there is concrete information, shall I say, or when there is something for us to be alarmed, you'll find that because the conversation is so diluted with politics, it is difficult to sift through. Because the time will come where where some of these things will need to be taken very seriously. The time could be now, but because of prior optics, it is difficult. You cannot begrudge anybody that opinion that some of these pronouncements and interceptions or alleged interceptions
but just to find out,
I mentioned when we started these discussions yesterday, I spoke about the number of pro NPP platforms I had read from, the very statement that the ranking member read out to the press, both on Facebook and on X. I was following some of the people and I saw that the content was almost the same, even the phrasing of the statements, almost the same. And I recall making a joke about it, whether we are all reading from the same script, at least can we not vary it a bit? But you see, all of this has a background. In our political life as a nation, we grew up seeing the opposition always running to the press first with all sorts of sensitive matters, damning the consequences on national security, on national unity, on development, on a peaceful coexistence amongst us, whether as political people or as ethnic and religious people. We always will see opposition members run to the press with all manner of allegations. And the idea is always to create a certain disaffection, a certain dislike for the party, the government of the day, make it unpopular so that we then will gain favor. And when I say we, I mean we who are making the statements. And I think that we have become so used to that as a people in our body politic that it is breaking us, but we are not seeing. We have seen how we tend to play emotional politics without principle. One politician who is crying wolf.
It's a free-for-all.
It's a free-for-all. In opposition, you see the person, blaring out all sorts of. The moment the party wins power, they get into office, then the person zips up, and we've heard all the we have to rescue this country.
Yes.
We've seen your best friend cry on live television. We've seen. To be fair, we can add setting the record straight days to it.
Yeah.
Now, General Secretary of the NDC, with his when he was propaganda secretary for the. So we have come from a long tradition of opposition. I would say causing fear and panic. So much so that we have lost our sense of. What should be put out and what should not be put out, because we want to at all costs make the ruling party or governing party very unpopular. Michael made a point that, look, if you have information that you think is sensitive, why are you waiting? Why do you want to wait for a state institution or agency to invite you before you submit the evidence? In fact, I think that the MPP should begin to play this differently, because this script, we have seen it, and we are fed up and tired. This script that you run to the press with a series of allegations, and then we go back and forth. We, in the media too, we are also interested in the Jews. We push it. In 24 hours, we all forget about it because the news cycle would have moved.
That's right.
Then we jump onto the next. Nobody ever comes back to it. A big lie is told. We all move on and move away from it. The NPP has to change the script in opposition. If you have serious information that shows that there are national security issues that will damn our reputation, issues that will make us unsafe, we the people, please submit that to the relevant agency. Push that button first. If you are not getting the response, in your press conference that you will address, you can say that these have been channeled to the appropriate quarters, they are not acting on it, or they are slow-paced in their action, and so you are blowing the alarm or the whistle.
For me, I think about it like the story of the boy who cried wolf. So that at a point in time, we will have to pay attention to some information coming from the opposition, no doubt about it. But if we are inundated with this kind of back and forth political tango, at the time when we really need to sit up, we will be brushing it off because, maybe this is just another one of those things. And for me, that is what is most worrying and most dangerous for me.
Yeah.
That if it becomes a case, don't mind them because, then it becomes problematic.
Especially, Helen, that you don't have so many of your numbers in Parliament. The few who are there should have a certain credibility so that anytime they come out to speak, we cannot doubt it.
That's right.
Unimpeachable evidence.
Unimpeachable evidence. So that if minority leader is coming out to speak, minority leader should not address a press conference and anybody would have any questions to raise about that press conference. So if we open our minority leader to ridicule, then the entire caucus is doomed. So
as an ordinary citizen of Ghana, that should really concern you.
Yes.
Because in any democracy, you need an opposition that is vibrant and strong to hold duty bearers accountable. It should not be a free coasting ride. So it is exactly in the right vein.
You see, during the vetting, when the Honorable Afenyo-Makin adopted the strategy he adopted, he got a lot of backlash. But the few who paused, rose above the emotions and thought through his approach, saw some good in it. That beyond the heckling, especially with some of the portfolios, beyond the heckling, which was needless in some of the cases, it brought out certain issues for discussion. And I recall the likes of Franklin Kujo talking about, I don't know, I think there were some procurement issues. Yes, that civil society picked up.
Right.
And the point I'm making is that we should be able to have a minority that when it speaks, it is not business as usual. So this press conference, for instance, if we didn't have the full facts and there was simply no way to have dug up the full facts, we could have allowed the communicators to go to town with it, allow the Facebook army to go to town with it, let them, have their bite, let them. But you have the shadow minister for defense and or interior holding a press conference to raise these issues. And I'm not saying this because I believe the Minister for Government Communication. I'm not saying that he is speaking the gospel truth.
We don't know.
I don't know whether there are some merits to the allegations raised by the ranking member. I don't know. I don't know whether there are no merits. I don't know whether the Government Communication Minister is also being political with the issue. I don't know. Of course, if the plane landed loaded with cocaine, I don't expect the minister to come and say, yes, the plane had cocaine. Nobody expects that. So it is now up to the opposition that is bent on exposing the lies of the administration to then come out and say that you lied. This is what is actually on the ground. And I believe that there will be reasonable people amongst us who will say, yes, there's some merit to what the ranking member is saying. But you see now, the conversation is changing from the merits of it to I was not invited. He was invited. He was. I didn't get any.
He didn't speak in his own capacity.
Yes, he said, well, I'm also asking them to come to Parliament. They said they don't come to Parliament. It takes away, like Sixtus is saying, from the actual substance of the and this is not a small matter that we're talking about. It goes to our reputation. It goes to business. It goes to our pockets. With
the other country that is mentioned.
Yeah, because I think there are two different countries involved in it.
Yes, and I mean, some of the statements that have been made about that place being a hub of drugs and so illicit drug and so on and so forth. So I completely agree. We'll run through the headlines very shortly so we can take some calls. But Michael, let's hear you.
For me, I think that also beyond all of this, I was expecting the Minister of Information to Government Communication to have responded to the issue about the 350 million cocaine bust. I think it was one of the issues the MP had raised.
That's right.
I think the minister was, I don't know if it was an oversight.
And the one that was the container
with some gold and currencies.
Is that different from that's a $350,000 million?
No, that is separate. There's gold and currencies.
Okay, well, I think he put them together because he said there was a $200 million one, and then there's a $150 million one.
Okay.
So all put together was a 350. So I'm guessing both of them.
No. There's the recent cocaine bust that was made.
350 million.
En route from Cape Coast, whether through Accra or to Accra.
Yes.
We are still not sure.
Is it the charcoal or the truck?
Yeah, it was heaped under, put under some heaped sand.
Okay,
yes.
Sand. Okay.
Sand, yes.
Yes.
That one was worth how much?
Street value $350 million.
Okay.
That's right. Estimated.
Yes. So I didn't hear about the Sappiman 1-2. So that is also the other point that we shouldn't. If you've come to tell us that you have gone to catch somebody hiding or hoarding gold and fake currency, or whether the currency is fake or not, we still don't know up to this point. When you gave us the information, we clapped. We applauded you. We standing ovation. Oh, you do all, chairman. Well done. Days, weeks, months later, you should come back and tell us.
Absolutely.
This is what we have done with this particular, whether it's a bust that you have made, arrest that you have made, whether there is investigation still ongoing. You see, where information is not flowing, it creates needless suspicion and opens room for all of these speculations and conspiracy theories and allegations, and let's just put it to rest.
Absolutely.
Sometimes there's really nothing there. Let's open it up. Let the people see. There's nothing in this. Can we all move on?
Because we have serious problems as a country. If you think that our economic woes and other woes have gone to bed, trust me, you're in for a rude awakening. We'll quickly run through the front pages, and then we can take your calls. We call it Community Voices. The Daily Analyst this morning has this to say: no safe haven for illegal miners, Lands Minister declares. Also, Parliament grants request for 2 MPs to appear before NIB, and you've got Alban Bagbin, Speaker of Parliament, pictured on the front page. 2028 elections, 57% of NPP supporters prefer Bawumia, and this is from Global Info Analytics, and they've come out with a raft of new polls on a number of different hot ticket items. 68% of voters blame Akufo-Addo for NPP's election defeat, also coming from Global Info Analytics. On the back page of the Daily Analyst, Galamsey Muntaka orders immediate transfer of police commanders in mining areas. And I was surveying the social media landscape. A lot of you think it's in the right direction. And prioritize private universities. Professor Herbert Kwabla Day, Vice Chancellor of the CAF University, KAAF. Which one is that one?
CAF. It's one of the old private universities.
I see. They've been recently granted presidential charter, marking a major milestone in its academic journey. University. All right, gentlemen.
I have the New Center newspaper, banner headline, is it Bluet? The multifaceted MTN CEO, a pilot, author, chartered accountant, marathon runner, and many more. A man of many colors. Banking on the future, how EcoBank is empowering Ghana's youth. BOG policy rate hike, MPC straight to vote and reasons. Access Bank injected 300,000 Ghana cedis in womanpreneur pitch aton, and GMA furious over suspension of duty waiver on vehicles. AG's no show in Latif Idrisu assault trial raises concerns, and on the back page of the paper, Standard Bank projects Ghana's GDP to hit 5.4% in 2025. Let me take this story, which is on page 2 of the paper. AG's no show in Latif Idrisu assault trial raises concern. On a day when the already protracted trial involving Multimedia journalist Lateef Idrisu against the Inspector General of Police and the Attorney General was set to resume at the family court in Accra. Senior state attorney handling the case failed to appear in court. Yesterday's absence is not an isolated incident. The Attorney General's representative has consistently failed to show up, often notifying the court at the last minute about her unavailability. This pattern of absenteeism raises serious concerns about the commitment of the Attorney General's department to ensuring justice is served in a timely manner. Delays and disruptions, judicial frustration. I'm looking for the background to the story. This is one journalist who has suffered in the line of duty.
That's right.
He's one of the journalists who has been beaten too many times. I think he's treating some fractured skull.
Goodness.
Yeah. The story is not good.
So he always wears a device on his head to help.
It's not good. It's not good. So I think that this case there has to be a lot more attention on it.
So around
because journalists, we are suffering.
A fractured skull.
Yes.
Goodness.
Yes.
So he has this device stuck to his head that helps him. I hear he has like severe headaches. So he always has to be on that device. And I learned he's been in and out of the country a few times for surgeries in the US and the likes. So we hope that some finality is brought to this. But then
this came out of police brutality.
That's right.
To journalists in the course of their duty. And that is why it is in court. So we need the court to go through this and provide some cover. Let's provide some protection for journalists. The only offense is to go out to try to bring the news to my listeners and my viewers. If in the course of that I become a target, it's not. My environment must be safe for my practice.
So quickly to the custodian. Fearless, fair, and reliable. NPP MPs commended for dedication. There's a picture of quite a number of them, including the former president, Akufo-Addo, and his vice, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and some NPP gurus and MPs. Government owes Zoom Lion 1.2 billion, minister reveals. That's according to Ahmed Ibrahim, Minister for Local Government. Lands Minister declares illegal miners dangerous terrorists. It has a picture of a serious-looking Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, Lands and Natural Resources Minister. GJA President to attend the elite jamboree in Dubai. Interesting.
Wait, please read that again for me.
GJA President to attend the elite jamboree in Dubai. Maybe.
I haven't heard that word jamboree since maybe my grandmother. Are you going for a jamboree?
The president of the GJA will join Albert Kwabena Dumfo will join dignitaries from across the world to attend the elite jamboree at the prestigious Atlantis The Royal Hotel in Dubai in April 5, 2025. The event aims at bridging the knowledge gap and unlocking the immense potential between Africa and the Middle East. Should I go further or that's it?
Elite Jamboree.
It's quite an interesting name.
Gentlemen, thank you. We'll activate the phone lines right about now so that you too can have your say this morning. We call it Community Voices, and our numbers are as follows: 0559 242 717 or 0556 910-154. That's 0559 242 717 or 0556 910-154. Phone lines already blinking. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Helen.
Eben, good morning. How are you doing?
Not bad, and you?
I'm doing great. Let's hear you.
We really thank God this morning for the life of media general workers and also the president, the delivered president, who never promised and failed, like us we watch horror movie for the past 8 years. May God Almighty bless our president. You see, Helen, it's sad the tango we are witnessing. Because for me, I know that if you said you have evidence, why wait till you are being called to prove the evidence you have? You see, they can't copy the Son of Man, Honorable Kujato. As people are discussing previously, it comes with vivid evidence. And I think what Reverend Fojo wants to copy that, but it's not doing it the right way. We are pleading with him. As I've been saying nowadays, You said you've watched horror movie before, and you see how it is. We're in this country. We sat for 8 years watching horror movies. So please, we are pleading with them. They shouldn't come and spoil our Gary with what the sun. We are so much happy and the happiness in the country. So please, Reverend Fodro, you are also a reverend. So if you really believe what you are saying is true, just go to them, provide your evidence, because we believe that President John Mahama we have would never hide anything. It's last term now. He wants to set a legacy for Ghanaians to prove that when it comes to developing social amenities, it is with the NDC. Have a good morning.
Yeah, Ben, I'm grateful. Have a good morning as well. Next caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Pastor Dewale, how are we doing?
By His grace.
All right. Let's hear you, please.
Greetings to all of the listeners. But Steve Ghana, I just want to add a little bit. You know, the Minister of Agriculture said they are coming with a different policy. Plenty for food and job has just gone by. This time around, one thing that I will personally also support this initiative is they are looking into the ideology of General Champo. It's mentioned it several times. It must come to stay. Because the minister even said that once you have a backyard, start planting some. We might always that I do ask in the past, and I will still ask today. How come that of General Champo was able to see the light of the day? In fact, he also went to US when he was head of state. Tesla. He saw the initiative, brought it down here, and it was nationally welcome. But to isolate some group of
Pastor Dewale, we can't hear you too well. Feel free to reconnect with us. I'll get on to my next caller. Hello, good morning. Who's speaking? Where are you calling us from?
Good morning, Auntie Helen. This is Anand Sapperman.
How's Sapperman this morning?
Oh, thank God. Here is fine.
Let's hear you, please.
I hope everyone too is doing fine.
We're fantastic.
Johnny is enjoying some.
Oh, my goodness. Enjoying.
Serious.
But he'll be back.
When he comes, 2 months, no off.
We'll pin him down.
Yes.
All right, let's hear
God
you.
bless you. Jaren, this morning the issues are many, but I will tackle this one. The NPP, sometimes we don't know whether they are planning that this country should go to the ditch or whatever. Because that reverend thing for you, I don't know. So sometimes when people title people reverend, pastor, whatever, I don't understand. And I don't.
Let's stay within the realms of what he said and not get personal, please.
But you know, sometimes there is a title. When you get that title now, whatever you do, you might be very careful, because people look up to that particular title that you are having. You understand? Well, assuming our area, when they say pastor, people believe that the pastor sometimes the utterances is something that they will listen, not the person itself. So whenever you get that title, and then you always give. When he was deputy education minister, we saw what he was doing. So for you to come outside and yesterday after the minister Ofosu Kwache brought up the information, he came and posted another thing and saying whatever. But he himself, has he given any evidence to the nation? So
we wait and see.
Sometimes fair. And also the agri minister yesterday they did some launching. I wanted to do the poultry farming, so they should give us the information where we can get to register and stuff. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your call. I'll get on to my next caller. Hello, good morning.
Bob Latigale, good morning.
Papa Bisu, good morning. How are we doing?
Well, I will have said, doing fine, but the way things are going over the issue of Team Fojo, bringing up certain falsehood and saying that the security agents haven't reached out to him. I don't know if that's the case. And the security agents, too, they are not coming out to say that he's lying or whatever it is. And they haven't reached out to him. And the IGP should resign.
Over this, Papa Bisu, over this issue?
Yes, because if he is claiming, because the president came out to say that they should liaise with him.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? And then we have the national security head over there, IGP there. These are security agencies. Is that not it? Am I lying? No, but politically, tell me, am I lying?
Well, Reverend says he has not been contacted. Do you think he should go to the security agencies with what information he has?
They should have taken orders from, what do you call it, the orders that His Excellency Jomama brought out, that they should reach out to him. Because he said they should reach out to him, Reverend Intim Fojo. I get my point.
I get your point.
Not Intim Fojo reaching out to, what do you call it, the security agencies. I get what I'm trying to say. And again, he Intim Fojo, as an educated person, should know, even if they are not reaching out to him, they should have reached out to them. Because he came out with this falsehood. I get my point. So that we can prove it. I get what I'm trying to say. Because these are some of the things that they did against Nkrumah. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, their forefathers, the UP tradition. They are coming from that angle. They did it against and they were true Nkrumah, and see the mess that we find ourselves in. They did the same thing against His Excellency Rawlings. They did the same thing against first government of John Mahama, whereby John Mahama was kicked out of power because of lies upon lies. We are tired of them. That's why I'm angry that the security agencies, the IGP should be sacked. If that is the case, I should resign. I'm expecting the IGP to come out with a statement.
Papa Bisu, you're very passionate about this one because, some of our callers are also saying, well, Reverend, nothing stops Reverend from also going to give the evidence to the security agencies.
What I'm saying is this. Listen, we are all speaking the same language, right? We are speaking the same language. I am of the view that the president came out with orders.
That's right.
And I'm trying to know whether the IGP or the national security agencies, their head, or whoever is heading the security agencies in Ghana here, they've reached out to Intim Fojo. Is it my angle?
I get your angle.
So that, because I don't want this falsehood to be going on very soon. Another thing will come from the MPP. I know Intim Fojo very well that he is a liar and he's using the reverend.
Papa Bisu, I'll truncate it here and we'll speak on Monday for sure. Let's get on to our next caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm doing well. Who's speaking?
This Hajia Kumapa, the freedom fighter from Medina.
Hajia, great to hear your voice. Let's hear you, please.
Thank you. Let me say good morning to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and remind him of my MP, Honorable Francis Xavier Susu. We're still waiting patiently in Medina for his appointment from the presidency, and that of Uti Bless, the kind, gentle guy who is at the parliament and helping the grassroots of NDC. My sister, I agree with what my brother is saying. You see, we are tired of the lies of this UP tradition MPP people. They did it to every good government in this country. Lies. Do you remember when Kwame Nkrumah was constructing Tema Harbor and the Tema motorway? You remember what they did? History taught us what they did to Nkrumah, the kind of lies they spewed against Nkrumah's government and overthrew him. They did it to the good old prof. They did it to John Dramani Mahamad's first term. They are still doing it today. So, if these people are doing this, and our security services will not take them on, my sister, what are we waiting for in this country? Are we serious at all? But if I am to be saying what Intim Fojo is saying, by now, will I be here talking to you? If I'm to come out and say this kind of things, even though my party is NDC, do you think I'll be here? No, because I have to assist in investigation to arrest. So it is a good way of coming to take me to go and assist. Why is it that Intim Fojo is still there and the security are not taking him on? Why?
Hajia, thank you for your contribution this morning. I'll get on to my next caller. I'll take one more and then we'll have to park it here for the voice of the people. You're all very passionate indeed. Let's be measured though with our commentary. I cannot allow certain things to go on air. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Who's speaking?
Good morning. This is Seshak.
Seshak, let's hear you, please.
Yeah, a very good morning to you and your panel or your colleagues in the studio. Helen, I know whenever we are giving out our grievances, you want us to be guided.
Absolutely.
But you see, we don't run the country with lies. Do you understand? You can say that, oh, fine, we have intercepted an information that, so you can charge the security services to do something about what you have heard, if it is true. But you don't come out to come and say that there are parcels of cocaine and blah, 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 in this thing. It is uncalled for, seriously speaking. And it must not come from such a person who is a politician and also a reverend minister. You allow us, the ones who have been doing the serial calling, to do this. So somebody like this, if he stands in front of me to share with the word of God with me, do you think I'll take him serious? Helen, do you think such a person, if he comes to stand in front of me, telling me, they are the reason why a lot of the clergy are losing their respect?
You say the relationship between religion and politics is causing issues?
Oh, listen, I'm telling you that these kind of characters are the reason why in recent times the clergy is losing their respect. Because they all the time blow hot and cold. The Bible says that either you are cold or you are hot. But that one is not allowed. So it's relevant for you. You are followers and they follow you and they listen to you when you preach on the podium. Please, for crying out loud, for the love of this country, we know what misinformation have done to Rwanda. Don't come out and come and peddle falsehood when you don't have any evidence. Now he's saying that he is in his office, so they should come and come and go. You see, that immunity that protects politicians or parliamentarians when they misbehave. That thing must be taken out in the review or the constitutional reform.
Thank you for your thoughts this morning. Have a good morning as well. I get onto my last call and then we'll make way for the sports. Hello, good morning. Who's speaking?
Good morning, my dear Helen.
Yes, who's on the line?
I am Tutupachi, calling from Taifa.
Let's hear you, please.
Domekwabenya precisely. Let me say a very good morning to you and your big men in the studios. Tell them I salute them this morning for the wonderful job you are doing for Mother Ghana. The list said about these people, so-called reverend, and then the micro.
Let's stick to the issues, please.
Let's
stick to the core of the issues. What's your thoughts on this? Yes, let's stick to the core.
Exactly what I am about to speak on. The least said about them, the better. Let me start with Afenyo Markins. He has clearly come out to tell the whole Ghana that he's intentionally doing that just to delay government business. So the majority, the great, mighty, the bigger majority should take note of that comment made by Afenyo Markins, the micro minority leader on KSM's show, that he's intentionally frustrating the majority so that it can delay government business. They should just rely on that comment and make them useless in parliament because they don't have the numbers to intimidate anybody. Let me come back to the issue. This so-called Intim Fojo, the reverend, tell him.
All right. Let me interject.
Okay.
You are allowed to make your comments.
Okay.
But let's be decorous. You can speak to the issues. Let's speak to the issues and decouple from the personalities. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much. Okay. This is not the first time he's alleging or making allegations. Fine. The knowledge or his pedigree to the extent of being a member of parliament does not augur him to be spewing lies or making just comments with no evidence. He said they pick an intel. The intel that he picked is supposed to get the evidence, the vivid evidence to buttress his intel. He didn't do that. Now, the president said he thanks him for bringing out these intels. That he should come out and then help investigation. Now that he's been caught, he is saying he hasn't been sent any letter that he should come and help any investigation. And I am happy they said the national security is going to make press release or meet the press today and bring out or lay down some measures to take this matter on. You know, they've done this before and they went scot-free. They succeeded it. This time around, it is said in account that Kanibino, Naponkona Bodam, Inti Oyembele Geno, Nimuane Manekoe, Nemu Ene, Seponkona Bodama on, Nimuane Sabodam, into Oyembele Dia or Bejima. Let us tell these people that we will never sit down to see them malign, spill lies, and then disgrace this nice government that Mahama is about to give us. We will not give them that chance. So they should be very careful whatever they say. If not, we will descend on them very hard.
Thank you for your call this morning, and thank you to all of our callers. I'm not sure what you've all had for breakfast this morning, but the passion is palpable. This is a platform where we discuss issues. Passion is certainly allowed, but let's try as much as possible to stick to the core of the issues and not rope in the personalities themselves. Time check. It is some 19 minutes to the top of the 8 a.m. Sports will be coming your way very shortly, but this one is Fire on the Mountain by Asha. Enjoy.